And you guys clearly had a lot of confidence coming into the game and believe you get back in. What did you see happen so early there that just brought a knockout punch and made it tough to come back?
Luka. Just that simple. He had like 3 shots from the logo. So pretty much nothing we can do about it.
What's your emotions as the season now comes to an end about what you accomplished and where it fell short?
I just said we'll be back next year.
Do you think this is something that you just have to go through experience to kind of build on?
Unfortunately, it's going through it with a loss, but I guess so.
What do you think about?
Hey, bring me a towel.
And what do you think about this Mavs group and their potential of what they could accomplish in the finals? And what do you think you can take from what they did to stop you personally in this series and apply it to next year and beyond?
Nothing.
And when you kind of look back on this series, maybe early in the series, what do you think this team could have done better, especially on the offensive end of the floor, to try and counteract some of what Dallas was throwing at you?
We never clicked all together as a team in this series. Not even one game. I think that was the main thing. The last 2 series, we was all clicking at one time, making shots and stuff. We wasn't clicking at one time now.
Kind of along those lines, you've talked about all season through the playoffs the offensive talent that you guys have on this team. There was times through the regular season where the defense was there and the offense wasn't consistent. When you reflect on the series or on the season, what do you think is missing to make the offense more consistent?
I think it's all about just making shots. Yeah, I mean, this series alone, I don't think we shot the ball particularly well from the three-point line. And I think that hurt us. They was able to sit in the gaps all series, make it tough on me. And their game plan worked because we weren't making shots. But we'll be back next year, man.
Is there anything with them sagging as much as they can? Is there anything you can think of that you could have done better within that to find different ways to kind of get the offense going?
No, not at all. I feel like I was getting to the teeth of the defense, creating good shots, creating the same shots that we was getting versus the other 2 teams that we played previously, and they just wasn't falling for us. And it's a lot of our guys' first time being in this light, so especially me, it's my first time. So we'll be ready, man. We'll be all right. First time, took a loss. Congratulations to the Mavericks, and we'll be back. We'll be all right.
This is the last. This is the last time we're going to get to talk to you before the off season here. So as you kind of maybe reflect on your season this year, where did you make the biggest growth, do you feel like, in your game over the course of the season?
Just being able to read the floor, not get as mad when teams double me and put 2 on me because I know my guys out there are going to knock it down, and just trusting my teammates.
And obviously disappointing loss in this series, but what do you take away from the successful postseason run that you guys had, especially the momentum after the first 2 series?
It's a lot of things to take away. I think the main thing is our identity, and we hung our hats on defense. I think we got a little away from that a little bit this series, and it showed. Because we're not the best offensive team. We always depend on our defense. So I think that's the main thing we take away from this playoff run is that we're a defensive team, and we got to start there every night.
And your first real deep playoff run, how much did you enjoy just what playoff basketball has to bring?
It's fun, man. I love it. I wish we could still play. I wish we was going back to Dallas for Game 6. But those guys came out, and they competed at a high level. And like I said, man, big shout out to them. But it's super fun, and I'm looking forward to being back right in this situation next year.
And you start the season against Dallas in Abu Dhabi. When you were at that point, what did you envision for this season to look like versus what played out for reality?
It's crazy because Slow-Mo said when we was in Abu Dhabi that he felt like we was going to play this team in the Western Conference Finals. He told me that in Abu Dhabi, so it's kind of crazy that we seen him. And but they made some changes to their roster big time, and it helped them a lot.
And some of the young guys, Miller, and we didn't see some of those players. What do you got coming behind you with the younger guys?
We got a lot. I mean, our coaching staff and organization, weight room guys, they do a great job of preparing those guys. So this summer is going to be big for our young group. I mean, including me. I'm still young. Because we got some players that's haven't been able to showcase their talent. We got a lot of players.
Hey, and what did you learn through this playoffs, and what do you think it will do for you this summer as you prepare to come back next year and go even further?
I mean, you just know how you got to train because, like I said, I've never played this deep into a basketball season. So now I know, like, okay, in order for me to be able to be dominant in the third round, and if we get past the Western Conference Finals and go to the finals, I got to train like I'm going to go to the playoffs. So I can't be missing training days. I can't take days off. I can't, you know what I mean? I got to be ready. So now I know what it takes. I'll be ready.
And I know it's a quick pivot here, but what are you looking forward to from the Olympics experience coming up?
I don't even want to talk. I don't know.
And as a leader of this team, what do you say to the other players on your team about workouts this summer? Is there specific things you want them to work on, or do you think they just improve on their own and you guys all come back for training camp?
I mean, yeah, they got their own trainers, their own guys. Yeah, they just work on their game. But I just told them, like, y'all know that we're going to be right back in the same position next year. So y'all know how y'all need to train to get ready, and include myself, like, you know, because we trained this year as if we was going to just play 82 games, maybe one round of the playoffs. We didn't know we was going to go this far, so we didn't train like it this summer. I know nobody did, especially myself. So I think this summer is going to be huge for all of us because we know what type of team we got and we know what we're capable of, so we need to train like we know what we're going to do.
What goes into training to play deep into the playoffs like you're talking about right now?
Just a lot of things. I think this summer I'm gonna go back to how I trained the year that I was going to college. I think I was in the best shape of my life in my freshman year of college. A lot of air dying, the bike stuff, a lot of stuff like that, man, that make me uncomfortable.
And at 22 years old, your Olympics coming up, getting this far in the playoffs. The story of legendary company is on the course of being written. When you get into this offseason, the Olympics, what's your biggest motivation, inspiration? What keeps your fuel, your drive to be in moments like this and to be as good as you have been?
I think my brother, man. My brother, just seeing him. He works every day. He makes music to about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. When I wake up, he still be up making music. So him just, working to get himself out there and be the best that he can be, it makes me get up every morning and want to be the best that I want to be. And just showcasing to the world what I can do. I think that's another thing that drives me.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam.
All right.
Carl, just kind of what's your emotions right now as you sit here? Are you kind of disappointed, or do you to take pride in how far you guys came this season, or kind of what are you feeling at the moment?
Disappointed for sure. I think it's simple. Got to the Western Conference Finals, couldn't get the job done. It hurts, This team has worked tremendously hard. Not only improving ourselves as players, but as a team, collectively, just playing together, trusting the process through the ebbs and flows of the seasons and all the adversity. We found a way to always stick together and move forward together. So disappointed for us, we worked hard, obviously didn't get the result we wanted.
Mike and some of the other guys were saying, series maybe wasn't lost entirely tonight, but those first two games.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
that hurt. That 18-point lead in the second game hurt. I think that's the turning point.
Was it tough to come back mentally from those two games, even though it was still just a 2-0 hole at that point? Was it tough to feel like you let those slip away?
I mean, nothing's easy. Nothing's easy when in the playoffs, let alone NBA basketball. I think that, I said it early in the playoffs, we've always done it the Minnesota way, the toughest way possible. And I don't think mentally we were out or checked out or anything like that. We've been used to having adversity. We always find ourselves putting ourselves in a bad position and finding a way to get out of it. So just, it didn't work out, played with fire maybe a little too many times, and played a great team who played amazing and hit shots when they had to hit shots. So I'm not going to come out here at all and say, it was just all us against ourselves that cost us. They had to make shots and play well, and they did that. That team is well coached. They got great players. Got to give credit where credit's due.
Carl, you're the longest tenured member of this team. How does this playoff run kind of change the context of your entire experience? Seeing the city come alive, seeing what it's like to progress this far, and seeing what it's like to play, on a legitimate contender.
I'm just happy to see like you said, I've been here 9 years. Hope next year, I would love for the tenure to keep going. So I'm just happy after, all the years I've been here and all the ups and downs to see the city come together so much for this team. It's heartwarming, for someone who's been here, who's seen both sides, to just see how much love these fans have given us and how much excitement we've given them in this playoff run as well in this season. It brings joy to me because, like I said, I've seen the other side of it. So I think that's what makes this so disappointing. These fans deserve a chance to see the finals. I think this team, of course, we feel that we deserve that. We put the work in, but these fans, after all these years, they've given us so much this playoff run this season. It hurts when you feel you let them down. So, it's a tough one.
Kat, for your first deep run yourself individually, what do you learn about what it takes to have success this way, and what more you need to do, or as individually and as a group, to get to the final?
Never let your foot off the pedal. It's going to be good for us to take this experience, just one, the execution that is required at every level. It gets higher and higher, to understand the discipline that we're going to need if we want to make a deep run and then want to get to that next level, which is the finals, and also the conditioning that comes with it and everything. I think that we've done a great job all year of working hard on our bodies and our game. So, I think this will be a great motivating factor for all of us to even find another level in training in this off season, and attention to detail too, and that goes with the execution. So there's a lot, again, I'm gotta give credit to, we played a great team that made shots and they executed at a high level, especially in the fourth quarter when they really needed to make shots. So I'd be remiss not to give them, the credit that they deserve.
You also you just said that you hope to come back for year 10. Do you have any expectations on how this offseason is going to go, and what's going to happen here going forward for you and for this team?
Nah, I don't know. I'm confident that I'm going to be able to be here with my brothers and, continue to do what I love here at home. So, that's the plan. Nothing's ever changed on my side. And, I love this city. I love this organization. I love what, this city. I love what it's given me in my life and given me and my family. So, it's been about 20 minutes, so, I got a lot to decompress and I got a lot to think about, but, my thoughts are it's never changed since day one about this organization. So, the plan is to be here.
Carl, getting to this level, to the Western Conference Finals, so much of your career has been trying to build to a playoff run and to get to this point. Sometimes once you're at this level, some of the challenge is about keeping the group together, some of the off-court stuff, the noise and those sort of things. As a leader of this team, and you're expressing what you're expressing, like how do you go about putting in that work?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't really. What are you trying to? Like, are you trying to say, like, how do I put in the work with all the noise outside type thing?
To be in the Western Conference and to go further.
Yeah.
There's be a step of, keeping the group together.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And kind of moving forward in that way when there is trades and there are free agency and there are those sort of things. What is the challenge as a leader to keep the group focused on moving forward?
Just I'm gonna try my best to answer that. I think for me, with all the noise and stuff, I'm gonna go into the gym every day and work tremendously hard so I could be the best version of myself. The strongest, most fittest, most skilled, most sharp I've been in my career every year. I think that I took a step in my career this year in my overall game. The work I put in, I feel has shown itself this season and taking another step. So I expect nothing less this offseason to take even another step with the experience now that I've garnered in this playoff run and just seeing the game differently, with experience and time, just in my prime of my career. So I'm stepping into it. So the other part of your question, I can't solve those equations because that's not that's not my job. So I can only take care of what I can control, and that's stepping on that court every day in the summer, stepping into the weight room every summer, and attacking it just as aggressively as I attack my rehab to come back from my knee injury. Just doing everything with purpose, doing everything with a mindset of motivation, and doing what I do best, which is put the work in. I put the hours in, I put the time in. So just continuing to do that, trust the work I put in, believe in the work I put in. It's done me well in my career.
Kat, there's a battle between the ownership and what's going to be decided. Whatever happens, do you think whoever gets control will see that they should stick with where this team is and let it grow? Or do you see something else?
I don't know. I can't. That's not for me to worry about. My job is to go out there, like I said, every day you need something in the summer and the off season, and continue to take steps forward in my game and my mentality as a not only as a player but as a person too. Keep growing as a person, keep growing as a player. I know we all get caught up in what on the court, how the game is played, but I also have to grow as a man as well. So I'm excited to see next season when I walk in here for training camp for our first interviews and stuff, to not only see the growth for me as a player that I will get to showcase to y'all throughout the season, but the growth of me as a man. So I can't speak on that. I can't control that. Like I said, I've definitely learned a lot in my 9 years here, and 9 years of being a pro basketball player and the best advice I got is to control what you could control, and I'm gonna continue to do that.
Karl, with this being such a overwhelmingly successful season for this franchise, what are you most individually proud of, whether that be for the team or yourself?
I mean, one of the things I'm most happy about is the man to my right, to see the love that Naz Reid has gotten from this city, to see the love that he's gotten from the NBA, from the media, to the votes, to everything. The Sixth Man of the Year was an honor that was rightfully earned by him. I remember seeing this man when he was young over in Jersey, and to see where he's come now, one of the best players in the NBA, in my opinion, and one of the most skilled and one of the most valuable assets you could have on any team. Definitely one of the things I'm most proud of. On the also side, just to see everyone, to see a team buy into, the greater good of the team. And, we talk a lot about, people do this, do that. They hunt for stats, the awards, and to see this team buy into each other, buy into the greater good of the team, putting wins up. It doesn't even matter about the numbers, just caring about each other, loving each other every single day, caring for each other, not only on the court, but off the court with families, being as all of us growing as men. I think what I'm most proud of is that everyone bought into that ideology, and then to see everyone still get the awards. Rudy, Defensive Player of the Year, Nas, Sixth Man of the Year, showcasing again the how valuable Mike Conley is to any team. With Teammate of the Year, how he brings our team together, and taking a huge step forward and being second team All NBA. I think that's what makes me proud too. We go talk about the success on the court, but just to see everyone buy in and sacrifice for each other, but at the end of the day come out with even more success because they sacrifice for each other is what made me proud of this team. It's tough to sell that, let alone the college players. Now you're talking to NBA players, who are grown men and have families and kids and everything that comes with being an adult, and for them to come to work every day with that mentality, that mindset, it made it really fun to play basketball with these guys and to just see them achieve goals and aspirations and dreams of theirs as a teammate.
Awesome. Thanks, Carl.
Yeah. And how can you guys as a group use this as kind of a building block to create a new standard for yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, we for that, certainly want to look at the season-long performance as well as anything that happened in the playoffs. Certainly, take from what we learned here and the lessons that we were taught, but try to figure out some things that might kind of be red flags moving forward. But yeah, you got to start back at square one when the season starts. You can't skip any steps. The West is going to be a monster next year, as it continues to be every year. So, but there was a lot of things we did well this year. Super proud of our guys in just building another layer of foundation to get where we're trying to go. So.
Chris, did they take away what you were trying to do on offense, or did you kind of give it away to some extent?
I mean, their physicality really bothered us. Thought their physicality kind of just busted us out of everything we tried to do. So.
And do you think that's been part of a kind of a season-long? I mean, there's been a number of things that have plagued the offense, but
yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been a season-long thing. It's been certainly here and there over 100 games that you play. It's happened, but yeah. So.
That surprised you most, that their physicality is what got you guys out of it? It's been the opposite for you guys all year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it surprised me. I mean, their defense has been, top defense since the trade deadline. They've done an incredible job of remaking their roster. 2 elite rim protectors, everybody's guarding at a high level. Good schemes. But, yeah, I mean, we weren't able to apply the pressure at the point of attack with their 2 guys as we have been, and that feels like we spent the whole series on their hip or them getting by us a little too easily, and that's a tribute to their great skill as much as anything else. So
yeah, I was going to ask. I think a lot of people would be like, "Oh, the Wolves didn't play like the Wolves," but how much do you think Dallas did have to do with that, and especially the play of those 2, kind of taking you guys out of what?
They shot over 50% again. We've been defensive led all year. We didn't get our defense consistently into this series the way it needed to be. Our most physical effort was last game 4. When we looked a lot more like ourselves on the ball and at the rim and everything else like that. So,
for Ant at 22, it's rare in NBA history.
Yeah,
where a 22-year-old leads a team in scoring and then leads his team to the finals. What is the next kind of growth here for him, and what did he maybe learn in this series that can propel him forward in the offseason when he goes to work on his game or?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, you got to get better at the things that you see in the playoffs, which get heightened. I think picking up some of the decision making. I thought I did a much better job of that as the year went on, as the playoffs went on. He saw probably more bodies in this series than he had in the previous 2. So that was one. But you're right. He's for a number 1 pick. I think he's had more playoff success than most of his colleagues that have been selected in that spot in recent years. The real challenge is, again, starting over at day 1. You can't get bored with the process of being great, and it takes the summer, it takes 82 games, and it takes sharpening your resolve in the playoffs, and just got to keep putting the work in.
Chris, you said in your first answer you felt like You busted out of structure by going a little isolation heavy in this game. What's the key when Ant and Cat are isolation heavy players to kind of stitch that together, the combination of isolation and structure?
Being able to go in isolation is everybody does it at some point in the game, no matter how much structure you have out there. But you still got to get set. You got to get to the right spacing. A lot of it is spacing related, So we were never really able to kind of get, I don't think, into anything that gave us great, shape. So.
Chris, just in this moment, I mean, obviously super disappointing with the way it ended. Are you able to take a step back and just look at the season as a whole and what you accomplished, or is it too fresh here?
No, of course we're very disappointed. I thought, like I said, that when I look back in summer long, going to be a lot of regrets about early parts of the series. But it's been a great year. Very proud of the guys. It's just the way the city has gotten behind the team and the fans. It's been special, and we've always said from the time we got here, we just want to put out a team that people are proud to root for and play the right way. And we feel like we do that. Now we just got to keep fine tuning everything. So, as the summers go on, of course you're going to reflect on the good, and you're going to also reflect on the things where you need to get better. So, thanks guys.